We are live, and on this edition of the Dugout,
Haji.
Lots has been happening. We all thought maybe after India versus Pakistan there might be a bit of a lull, isn't it? But no, two major updates. One, because of the rain that is scheduled to lash Colombo, all games have shifted from Colombo to Pallekele. That's the first big update.
True.
The second update is that we were supposed in the...
So that's 7 games including the final.
Yep. All going to take place at the beautiful Pallekele International Cricket Stadium. We were expecting, if you look at the past week, we were expecting the India preliminary World Cup squad to be out today. September 3 was
and that's
the
the
initial
second
date.
update, by the way, guys, that Siddharth is referring to.
But now it's changed. Because of, I don't remember in the history of Indian cricket, because of one individual, they have had to change a lot of their planning and all their situations, and now they will announce the preliminary squad on September 5, the final day.
Deadline day.
And not just any individual, KL Rahul.
KL Rahul. We are going to come into that, and this is the topic that we are going to do today. The problems that are facing the Indian team ahead of the World Cup. What are the major problems? Straight out of the top of our head, what it can be. The number 5 situation, number 8. Because your number 8 is a problem, you are still going to play with 4 number 11s, isn't it? That same criticism. Left arm problem. Okay. What is your team composition? And if KL Rahul is not fit, does Ishan Kishan continue to bat at 5? Or if KL Rahul comes in, will Ishan Kishan open the batting and all the others come down? These are the few problems that we are going to tell you in this particular dugout, and we'll be joined by Nikhil soon from Pallekele, because at Pallekele, lot has happened. There has been a Nepal press conference also from 5:45 to 6:15.
Yes.
And Nikhil did a show with Sunil Gavaskar and Harbhajan Singh. And Harshad, you listened to the show. What were the key takeaways in Sunil Gavaskar and Harbhajan Singh's assessment? Did they speak about the match? Did they speak about the Asia Cup, India preparation? What was it?
Couple of talking points, in fact, very interesting talking points coming in from both our in-house experts. One, of course, since you mentioned about the number 5 position being a matter of concern for Team India, let's just first talk about that. Now, when that question was asked to Sunil Gavaskar, and of course, Ishan Kishan, albeit all the talk around where he should bat, where he should not bat, his form in the middle order, rather his runs in the middle order and whatnot, he did a splendid job. He was India's saviour, so to say, yesterday, the second highest run scorer as well. Now, when we asked Sunil Gavaskar as to what really should Team India be doing now with that kind of a performance and the Windies performance as well, keeping both of those performances in mind, Sunil Gavaskar is of the firm opinion that Ishan Kishan has done enough at the moment for the Indian team to not look past him. Even if a KL Rahul is fit and available, he feels that it is difficult now for Team India to look past Ishan Kishan.
See, I would argue that, okay, you've got KL Rahul and Ishan Kishan, these are your two. Now, who is the backup and who is the starting, that is a big debate. Because KL Rahul, potentially, you're going to pick him having not played a single game since March. March was the last time. I mean, I'm talking about an ODI, this thing, international. He played until May.
He played the New Zealand series.
And then IPL.
He played IPL.
No, he played Australia also.
We're talking...
Of course,
yeah, he was there. Yeah.
And we have Nikhil joining us from Pallekele. Nikhil, can you hear us?
I can, of course I can. How are you guys doing?
We are doing fine, and lots of updates, Nikhil, that you have been doing since the morning time. Firstly, about the World Cup situation. We were expecting today, but then you clarified it will happen only on September 5. And second, the Asia Cup schedule change. Before I come to the World Cup, Nikhil, was this change and expected that, okay, Colombo will not host because of the rain forecast and Pallekele will be hosting the remainder of the games?
No, it wasn't expected. I got to know about this in the afternoon. I could have gone ahead with that news at about 2 in the afternoon today.
Yep.
But then I chose to wait because I wasn't 100% certain and I wanted to speak to a few more people. A little birdie had told me around 2 o'clock in the afternoon today that there is a thought there. They are thinking about shifting the remaining games from Colombo to Pallekele, and even Dambula is being looked at. So I got to know at around 2 o'clock. I made a few phone calls, and once I got a little bit more confirmation that yes, there is a thought there that they're thinking about it. Then around 5:15, I messaged Harshit that be ready. I'm going to be sending you some breaking news, so be ready for the television show. But obviously, Harshit did not check his WhatsApp messages for a good half an hour, and he only got to see when at about 5:35 or 5:40, I sent you guys a message that it is pretty much what they are thinking, and in all likelihood, the games are going to be shifted between Pallekele and Dambula. So yes, now it does seem like that might happen. Though I must tell you, right now I'm in Pallekele and I've just come bit indoors. If you saw the television show, I was doing it from the outside.
Yep.
But now it started to drizzle a bit. But it's exactly the kind of drizzle that we saw yesterday during India-Pakistan game. Not heavy rains. You do not see heavy rains here in Pallekele. Mostly see a lot of drizzle. I started to drizzle, and I think the Nepal team preempted that. What you see behind me are the indoor nets. I can't show you the pictures because they're practicing behind these boards and these billboards that you can see. Just behind that is where the Nepal team is right now practicing. They will practice for another hour and a half or so. They've been practicing for a good hour already. So that's the latest update. In terms of weather also, I can tell you that it's a slight drizzle here. And many people will say, what's the point of shifting the games from Colombo to a Pallekele or even a Dambula? Firstly, Dambula, I'm not sure.
Yeah.
The name was floated around by the local Sri Lankan cricket board, but I do not know the game readiness of Dambula. I do not know whether there are any domestic matches happening or not, because you cannot prepare the pitches or a ground and all the logistics around it for an international game so soon. Sometimes venues take weeks to prepare themselves like that, sometimes even months. To tell them at a short notice of a week or so and prepare, I'm not sure. So I think that is something that they're waiting for, and that's why you've not heard an official announcement. But Pallekele for sure. Pallekele shouldn't be a problem. If they want to be looking at Pallekele to organize the remaining game, that shouldn't be a problem because it's already match ready. It's already tournament ready. All those formalities have been done in terms of organizing an international game. So it's ready on that front. Whether Pallekele gets all the matches or is it distributed between Pallekele and Dambula, that's what they're contemplating at the moment, which is why you haven't got an official sort of an update. But I know this for a fact, and I can confirm that the stakeholders have been sounded off already to prepare themselves. The stakeholders being, the ground staff, the local cricket board, the travel agency, the broadcasters that are supposed to send you live visuals, the commentators, so on and so forth, have already been sounded off of the possibility of not going to Colombo at all. And probably staying back in Pallekele and maybe even shuttle between Dambula and Pallekele. That is a possibility. And for those of you who are saying that, Pallekele also, it's drizzling right now, yesterday's game could not happen. But let me tell you, there's a sea difference between the weather in Colombo and Pallekele. In Pallekele, at least, you can have stop-start matches. Some matches will take place despite the drizzle. But in Colombo, the amount of rain that has been falling, I witnessed it firsthand when I landed here on the 31st. In that sort of a scenario, there's no likelihood of any match happening at all. So you could have a complete washout, which is what they want to avoid at the moment, which is why these last-minute bids are being made to look at an alternate venue.
Yeah. Nikhil, now that you've confirmed, you broke the story here and on India Today as well, that this shift is now going to be happening. All the 6 games from Colombo are being
likely. There are many a slip between the cup and the lip.
Yeah. So having said all of that, any personal disappointment there now that you won't be able to visit the Ministry of Crab?
Yes. Oh. Good one, Harshit. I love Ministry of Crabs. For those of you who do not know what that is, that's the restaurant known for its seafood, owned by Kumar Sangakkara and Mahila Jayawardene. But you know what, Harshit, what I might do is, on my way back, my flight is out of Colombo, so I can always make a stopover in Colombo and have a quick meal. There's another very famous seafood restaurant there by the name of Beach Vadia. It's been there for ages, ever since I visited this place first time, 2004. Since that time, I've visited it. So maybe head to that as well. But depending, I still don't know. My hotel reservations are done for Colombo. I was looking forward to going to Colombo. But right now, as things stand right now, in all likelihood, I may just be here in Kandi, as Siddharth says.
Yep. Ministry of Crab, what a place. I've had the privilege there and wow, it is stunning. But now, coming to the main elephant in the room, Nikhil, it's the World Cup. As we know, 2 days remaining for the preliminary squad to be announced. Whatever we saw in the India versus Pakistan encounter, I mean, we felt that we highlighted Shubman Gill's form as one of the prime factors that we should be worried about. KL Rahul now going to have another fitness test, the final one potentially on September 4th.
Yeah.
And then your number 8 conundrum. You've not had your bowlers have full 10 over drill that we could have seen.
Yeah.
So these are the two weaknesses that I can immediately see. The KL Rahul conundrum, number 8, Shubman Gill form, 3 in fact. What are the other weaknesses, Nikhil, that you can add upon when you are looking at the Indian team, the problems that they'll have to tackle when they pick the World Cup squad?
I think right now it's very interesting when it comes to the KL Rahul puzzle. And I call it a puzzle because it really is a puzzle that no one's been able to solve as of now, because his injury count keeps increasing from one to another. There's no clarity. We're just, a couple of days away from the final announcement of the team. So there's no clarity. Let me tell you what is the situation with his fitness and all, and which is why when there was news about that India have decided the World Cup squad, I think that wasn't really accurate, which is why I did the live breaking news on Sports Today as well as AajTak, basically to clarify what the situation is right now. And I'm just going to reiterate that the meeting did happen between the chairman of selectors, coach and captain after the India-Pakistan game, and they pretty much know the 15 that they want to go with, and that is no surprise. If there are 3 of you in the studio, me here, if you had asked us to pick the 15 that the management is going to pick, not our choices, but what we thought the management is going to pick, I think all of us would have got the same 15, which we've put out on Sports Today as a likely 15. So no surprise there, nothing unusual or out of the blue was discussed there. So pretty much unexpected lines, those 15. Now, what is it with KL Rahul and why is it? Now, many will say that if the meeting happened yesterday, might as well announce the squad, yesterday or even today or tomorrow. No, that's not happened. The reason it's not happened is because right now they are still not 100% certain about KL Rahul. They're sweating over his fitness. Now, there were again reports that he's passed some fitness test today. I'm not sure about any fitness test that he may have had right now, but I'm 100% sure about the fact that he's playing a game tomorrow. He is playing a game at the NCA tomorrow. It's a match simulation, a practice match as such, between players that are there at the NCA. You mix the players up, make 2 teams, and the one thing that the Indian team, and I keep repeating, the one thing that the Indian team management wants to see is KL Rahul keep for the entire duration of 50 overs, because that's one thing they're not really sure of at the moment. He's been batting fine in the nets. The latest update from NCA that I've got is absolutely fine when it comes to batting. He's recovered from that niggle as well. So he's fine on that front. But remember, you're looking at him as a wicketkeeper batter. So his wicket keeping becomes important. No one, not even the NCA staff right now, is 100% certain about his ability to keep for 50 overs. So that is something that they want to assess. It'll be assessed tomorrow when that game happens at the NCA. And after that, they will take a call whether to have KL Rahul in the squad or not, and that's why they waited till the 5th, assuming that again, going back to the point that they decided the 15 yesterday in that meeting. Why is it that they've not announced it? Because, as I said about KL Rahul's fitness, you announced it, then he plays the game, and you're not happy with his fitness, then you're going to look foolish making those changes ahead of the 5th. When you have time till the 5th, it would be really stupid to announce the team on the 3rd. Might as well wait for the 5th and have the final call. The other thing that I've learned, and I think that is very interesting, because I never thought there was any doubt about it, and I kept thinking that it's almost done. Jasprit Bumrah played those games in Ireland. Everyone must be happy he's done. I thought Shreyas Iyer been batting a lot in the nets, played the game also. Everything must be fine. No, not quite, because the team management knows that they're coming off a long-term injury. And most of those people, whether it's the captain, the coach, the chairman of selectors, all have been former players and know what happens when you come from a long-term injury. Because you can come, you may play a game or 2 and suddenly some sort of pain returns, some sort of discomfort returns. Then that is an issue, which is why what the team actually was looking forward to yesterday was 2 things. One, to get to see Shreyas Iyer bat a little longer. That wasn't the case, though I thought he looked good in his stay on the crease. He was looking very good. And what I really liked about him he played that pull shot because, quite often we said that he would get beaten in those short pitch deliveries. He was a bit late. He was a bit uncomfortable against genuinely quick short pitch deliveries. That wasn't the case. It was a quick short pitch ball. But what you notice, Shreyas Iyer took it on. He did not, get perturbed. He wasn't beaten. He wasn't made to look ugly. He took it on confidently, played that pull shot and timed it really well. It's just that it went straight to the fielder. A meter here or there, that would have been a boundary. Who knows what he would have done from there. But he showed positive intent, didn't show any discomfort. Yet you would want it to have seen him bat for long. And I say that because fitness, what happened yesterday. Ishan Kishan, a fit player, is an absolute fit player, and he started to cramp up. And what happened with that? He played a tired shot, got out, and from there you had a collapse. So that's how important fitness is. And no matter how good you look in the nets, that fitness you want to see on the pitch. And the team management really wanted to see Shreyas for bat for a bit long. It could have been then 2 games. You could have seen him, Nepal and Pakistan, and then you could have been 100% certain announcing his name. But that is not the case. Didn't happen versus Pakistan. Hope the rain stays away. You get to see it versus Nepal. The other one, Jasprit Bumrah. We thought passed all the fitness tests in NCA, played the series in Ireland, so 100% fit, all hunky-dory, let's go. No, the team management is still, treading with caution because, again, long-term injury, you never know what goes wrong. And you want to see him bowl full quota of 10 overs. That hasn't happened. He's bowled in match simulations, all right, but not an international game. International games are 20-over games that he's played. You wanted to see him bowl yesterday. Again, your plans were, unfortunately, they went haywire because of the rain that you had. So again, you could not see him. So all of these things have now forced the Indian team's hand, where they are probably the last of the teams that will announce their provisional World Cup squad on the 5th. So on the 5th, you'll get to know early, and hopefully we'll have a press conference. Earlier, I didn't know whether it'll be Colombo or Pallekele. Now most likely will be Pallekele. I said, you may not have a Colombo leg. So then we'll get to ask all the remaining questions. So this is where the team stands right now with its selection of the World Cup squad. However, one big asterisk over the team that will be picked on the 5th. You can still take that risk if KL bats for or wicket keeps for 50 over and have him in the team, because you can make any amount of changes to that squad till the 27th. So if you can make any amount of changes, you can see him a bit more versus Australia. And if you're not happy, then make a change. But would that then be wise to do it last moment and maybe then bring in a Sanju Samson last moment who doesn't get any games before that? I don't know. That is a situation that the Indian team might have to deal with. They've found themselves in this situation. Whether it's unfortunate, whether it's bad planning, that's another debate altogether. But that's the situation right now on the ground.
I mean, we are again looking at 2019 all over again.
No, it's worse. It's worse.
Except this time, because they have they've recovered from their injuries at a time when, okay, you can't drop them, you can't keep them out, but their game time has reduced.
Yeah, because even if you're looking at, and this is, I think, the one other question that was on my mind is that if a KL Rahul passes the fitness test, if he's fully fit, if he's named in the squad, if he returns then for the Asia Cup matches that will be taking place, the Super 4, do we then see him walk into the playing 11? Because you haven't really had any other game time to test him, but how harsh would that be on an Ishan Kishan who in his one crunch match batting at number 5, a position he's rarely ever batted at in white ball cricket, pretty much resurrects your innings? How unfair would that be if that would happen?
No, can I answer that question? It's an
Yes.
interesting question that Shane puts, and there are 2 ways of looking at it. If KL Rahul does keep for 50 overs in that practice game tomorrow and is selected, what do you do with him is the next question, right? See, I would play him, and that's not a reflection on me pushing Ishan Kishan back and putting KL Rahul in the front. No, because with Ishan Kishan now I kind of know where he stands with his fitness. I may not be 100% sure of KL Rahul's fitness, so I may want to see him. I would want to see him play a few international games as well to test his fitness, because I know this may not be the time for testing, but that's the option that you're left with. Unfortunately, you'll have to do it at the Asia Cup. You don't have too many other games, and then the Australia series. So few games. I would be happy if you keep rotating them, just so that you keep seeing KL Rahul. It's not so much a reflection on being unfair to Ishan Kishan, but more a reflection on how you would want to see KL Rahul also in terms of his fitness. So that is something you can do. You can even rotate sometime between Shreyas Iyer and KL Rahul. Not necessarily Ishan has to be left out. This is something that Sunny Gavaskar mentioned yesterday on Sports Today. That video is also up. You can check that out. So maybe these are certain things that they can look at.
Yep, because see, if KL comes back, he has to come back for the composition and balance. Okay, I think we have got some audio issues at this time.
No, not audio issues, guys. I have another live to do, on Hindi at 7:25. So I'm going to be pushing for that. But just before I sign off, lots of news updates, all of it exclusively up on Sports Today. So do check it out if you haven't already. Inside details about venue shift, about the team selection, and we'll get you more news about the Nepal team. But they're practicing right now. Before I go, let me quickly tell you what the Nepal press conference, what was said. Two things that were said. They said that, listen, yes, we are minnows, but we've also seen a lot of video footage, and we've made plans for big guns like Rohit Sharma as well as Virat Kohli. That is what the Nepal camp said. The other thing that they've said that, yes, it will be like a fanboy moment for a lot of us because the Indian team is a star-studded one. But we'll keep that fanboy moment for after the game. When we are on the field, there will be no fanboy sort of a moment. It's going to be a battle between two teams, and we're going to be playing hard. Tooth and nail is what we're going to give on the field. But after the game is done, we'll have photo moments and selfie moments and so on and so forth. But during the game, they're going to be fully focused on that. So that's the latest update from the Nepal camp. As far as the weather is concerned, I'll give you fresh update from Pallekele tomorrow morning. So you have an idea whether the game goes on and on. Indian team didn't have any practice today. Neither did they have any press conferences. So for the moment, bye-bye guys. You guys continue. I'll see you later.
Okay, thank you so much, Nikhil, for those updates. But then we are left with this conundrum.
Look, if I'm being very honest with you, and I know this will sound harsh, and I know people are going to target me for this, I would not have been waiting for KL Rahul's fitness. I would have, quite frankly, because you're in a catch-22 situation. If you name him, you're going to be dropping Ishan, who's done well, because you need to give him match practice. What if he does badly then? Then you've deprived Ishan Kishan of match practice.
Either way, it's going to be a contentious call.
No, it won't be a contentious call if you keep playing Ishan.
No, because then you will say, okay, this whole while you delayed, you wanted to see him, you didn't try anyone
Ideally, you
else.
shouldn't have delayed.
Exactly. So whatever it is, then you will question the whole process. Right? If you don't want to question that, then at some point you need to bring him in as well. And truth be told, KL Rahul has been the talk. What did Rahul Dravid? In fact, I'm reminded of what Rahul Dravid said. He said, and this was at the start of the Asia Cup. He said that 18 months back, had you asked me about the middle order, I would have given you three names.
Yeah.
Right? He said that. So that tells you how important or how vital a cock KL Rahul is. Now, if he goes ahead and makes himself available, is fit enough to keep the wickets, that's what is being told to us, that his ability to keep the wickets of 50 overs is what his chances of inclusion hinges on. Now, if he passes that test tomorrow in Bengaluru, which is where he'll be playing another simulation match, and then not include him, it makes you look like a bigger fool.
Yeah, because you waited for that long. Waited.
See, again,
you're stuck between a rock and a hard place, in essence.
Actually, it's your own doing. It is very much your own doing.
It's a rock and a hard place that you created.
You created, the rock probably was there, you created a hard place for yourself as well. And that's where you are, and there is no better idiom to describe this present situation than a catch-22 situation. This is the perfect example. If you were to explain what a catch-22 situation is, this is what it means.
There's no good option. Each option leaves you...
And both will be scrutinized.
Correct.
You go this way, people will question the other part of it.
And
you go that way, people question the other. So again, there is no, you're going to be not looking pretty at the end of it all. There will be questions, you go this way or that. So, but I think at the moment, at some point you need to try KL Rahul. Will it be... Now, if you don't do it in the Asia Cup, let's say, when you do that, you only have the Australia series. Then you will say that, okay, we've given Ishan a long rope. Ishan has been in our plans right from the West Indies series where we gave him his test cap as well. So that was an indicator that, we trust him. He is part of our future plans. He delivered in West Indies for us. He played a crucial knock against Pakistan, and who's to say that he will not get runs against Nepal or let's say in the Super Fours. Now, if all of that happens, you don't really have, let's say, a reason to bring or to take him out and bring KL Rahul in. So at some point, but again, that's where it is. That's where it is catch-22, because at some point you need to give KL Rahul the time as well. Will it be the Australia series? Will it be the likes of a Stark and a Cummins and a Hazelwood that you want him to play straight up coming after an injury and having been available for good 3 weeks, which would have been the time by then?
Yeah, absolutely. It's a conundrum. It's a massive conundrum.
Okay, now it's a problem that started from May.
Yeah, you knew at that point that KL was out for at
KL
least a
was
couple of
out
months.
for 4 to 5 months.
The moment he went for that surgery, you knew he's not there for another 3 to 4 months.
So, but what worked in KL's favor? Because prior to his injury, he had 2 match-winning knocks. One against Australia, one against Sri Lanka. That was the 2 things that worked in
There was
KL's
another
favor.
thing. There was another thing.
Ishan was not in form.
Ishan was playing well at the top of the order. The person who was expected to be his first choice replacement, Sanju Samson,
He got
also
injured.
wasn't in form.
No, he got injured.
No, Sanju got injured in the early parts of the year.
That's why he missed that entire home season.
I'm talking about later, once KL was injured and when Sanju was getting games, regardless of format, if he had runs, he would have had something to show, but he
So,
didn't.
I'll again tell you, Bumrah. What about Bumrah? You knew that his fitness would be touch and go. And when did he get fit? August.
Ireland.
August. That was August. Now, 5 plus 3, 5 or 6 games in the Asia Cup, 5 or 6 plus 3.
Yeah.
ODIs I'm talking about. 1 is already ticked off. You couldn't get to bowl. Nepal is not going to give you an indication. I'm sorry, whatever you look at it, Nepal's not going to give you an indication.
Yeah, 100%.
See, for that matter, even the Ireland series wasn't, it didn't give you a lot of answers.
It didn't give you a lot of answers. Now, this is the point that I want to touch upon. If you knew these 2 players were going to be injured for a very long time, you knew it, okay? Now they will say, oh, the selection panel itself changed. Remember, the selection panel changed.
Yeah.
Common sense, shouldn't it be? Common sense. I know my 2 best players are out. Why can't I play with a core knowing very well that I don't have enough game time right from January?
Correct.
That means poor planning.
But again, no, but
You wanted to.
Your backups were also injured, Siddharth. Let's not forget. You had Prasidh Krishna in your mind. You took Prasidh to England as well last year.
But again, I am saying Prasidh played in August of 2022. Forget that. I am saying from January 2023. You knew Prasidh was injured for a long time. As Nikhil pointed out, long-term injuries. Bumrah, long-term injury. KL now suddenly got a long-term injury. Shreyas, a long-term injury. 4 players. Okay. 4 players from March. Okay. March to May.
No, I think so, no. Listen, I think you were trying things. All this while. The word experimentation came into common parlance or cricketing parlance from an Indian perspective because they were accused of being experimentative, let's say.
They are over experimentative even now because of the injuries that's been
So
forced
let's
upon
not
them.
forget that until a long time back that you were and you had trusted Deepak Hooda also for the longest time. You played him so much. It was only after a consistent
Failures.
bad run.
See, you picked him primarily out of IPL and Ireland.
Right.
That 100.
100 against Ireland. Let me be, and here we are making the
No, he put in a couple of good performances in New Zealand as well.
4 for, but that was after the horse had bolted. He took 4 for 10 in that T20 against New Zealand after the T20 World Cup had ended.
Agreed.
At which point it just didn't matter.
It didn't matter.
It didn't matter.
So, what is working in KL's favor? 2 match-winning knocks. And because at that time you wanted KL to come back in because Ishan Kishan was not performing and Sanju was injured.
Yeah.
Now Sanju has recovered. Ishan now has hit 4 consecutive 50s.
And
Now
one of them
that
at number
was
5, by the way.
3 at 1 at the opening
And one at number 5.
Yeah.
Now Ishan's knock has actually thrown everybody's thinking into a tizzy. Okay, we didn't bargain on Ishan Kishan doing well at number 5.
Exactly. And I'll happily admit I was wrong
backed
there.
him to do well,
At,
but
You didn't expect him to do well.
exactly.
yeah, the expectation was, and by the way, we wouldn't be having this debate if Kishan didn't have a good knock yesterday.
Yes.
Because if Kishan didn't have a good knock, then the grass would look greener on the other side. Arey, let's bring back KL.
Yeah.
We need him.
And like they say, the person on the bench always looks the prettier one.
Yeah, always.
So see,
always.
Nikhil said that he would have tried KL. I also would want KL okay, at number 5. He is your number 5. But then, where will you pick Ishan? Where will you put Ishan? Your brutal, blunt, honest answer to that, nowhere. He has to warm the bench. You're not dropping Shubman Gill. Okay? You're not dropping Shreyas.
Because, and I'm sorry if you drop Shubman now, then the khichdi you're adding another element to it.
No. It's like you have enclosed, you've got pigeons enclosed in the cage. You've released the cat in that cage. That's it. It's bedlam. Okay? Yeah. You're not dropping Shubman. Okay? So Ishan will have to sit out. Brutal truth, folks. If KL Rahul comes back on 10th of September for the India-Pakistan encounter,
then that means Ishan is sitting out.
Ishan has to sit out.
And that is going to be very unfair. In fact, I would feel, if I were Ishan, I'd feel hard done by.
And I'm just thinking of a scenario where, let's say, KL Rahul is reintroduced into the team.
At Ishan's expense.
At Ishan. It will be at Ishan's expense.
It has to be.
And let's say, God forbid, if he doesn't
have a good knock.
And then you bring back Ishan for the
and he also doesn't perform.
He also doesn't, and then you will say, he had the momentum, you took away the momentum from him.
Correct.
Simple.
And that is a plausible scenario.
It will happen. It will happen because you are dropping players left, right, and center. I mean, look at 2019. Why I gave the 2019 parlance? Ambati Raidu.
Yeah.
He had one bad series.
No, only 2 bad games. That's it.
Gone.
Dumped.
And suddenly he needed to be 3-dimensional.
1.5 years of planning all undone because of that one wrong misjudgment.
And then on top of that, as the old saying goes, when it rains, it pours. Vijay Shankar had 2 games, did okay. Injured. Then you're scrambling for a number 4.
Never picked again.
Then you're scrambling for a number 4.
Yep. Then
because
then
Rishabh Pant plays number 4. Dinesh Karthik plays number 4. God only knows what was happening.
Yep. The same problem is happening now. You're seeing the warning signs, but you're ignoring it.
The other idiom now coming to my mind: old wine
in a new
bottle.
Yeah.
So the main problem, ironically, comes from a match winner. Just look at the Kalyug era we are living in.
KL Rahul was a match winner in those 2 matches.
Yeah.
You otherwise would have lost the series.
Yes.
Both of them.
Yes.
Otherwise.
So that is why, for all those, KL Rahul is not the problem. His injury and the timing of it is a major problem.
His timing of his return, rather.
Because you never expected Ishan. Why? I'll tell you, no one expected Ishan to do well. Because if not KL, that definitely has to be Sanju.
Yeah.
But again, we all have made the mistake. Everybody, even the Indian cricket fan has made the mistake on judging Sanju just on T20 form.
Exactly the point that I made here yesterday. It's nothing against Ishan. It is against the process, the so-called process and the decision making that's been followed. Because you made him play at another position, you're asking him to do well somewhere else, and with Sanju, you played him in the right position but in a different format.
But again, if he had gotten you 250s, you would be having this debate.
He got you 150. He did get you 150 in the 3rd ODI. Out of the 3 matches that he only got to bat in 2. But where he agreed, probably a handy 40 would also have done him some good. But again, look at the fact that you've only given him this much and you've expected this much in this much.
And again, I'll tell you, see, it was already clear from the mindset of the management that KL, match winner, he's in this rung. Ishan was the backup, that's why he got a longer rope. Now he's doing well. Sanju is below them. And as I said, the tweet has aged really, really well, and I stick by that tweet. In a T20 World Cup year, Sanju plays ODIs. In a ODI World Cup year, he plays only T20.
It's aged like the same old wine that is being sold to us in a new bottle.
For 10 years, it's been happening. 10 years. Sanju...
See, it's not fair in many ways. Let's say if Ishan also wasn't to do well going forward, and I hope that's not the case now that the team's backing him to do well in the middle order, then you can't actually, hold that against Ishan either, because you were ideally playing him at some other place. You gave him all the confidence while he was opening the batting for you.
Trick question. When was the last time there was an Indian cricket team which was stable? Last time. When was it?
2011.
Even 14-15, you had a stable side more or less.
You had until 13. I will just say till 13-14.
Because 11 to 13, your team hadn't drastically changed. Yes, there were a couple of retirements that had happened until then, but even the core, like they say, the core was the same. Right now, you may say that the core is the same as the previous World Cup. A Bumrah is there, a Kohli is there, a
Rohit
Rohit is there, a Jadeja is there, a
Potentially
Pandya
a KL is there.
But now your core doesn't play together anymore. That's the problem.
Even I will not count the Pakistan game as playing with the core. Your one member is missing.
KL's on there.
Yeah. You're
Also-
only going to play with your core on September 10th.
Also, I'm
potentially.
sorry, you can't even count that as a game because your bowlers didn't bowl.
Yep. You're going to play on the 10th. And that means you have only 28 days left for the World Cup and you're playing with your core at that particular time because of injuries, because of rotation.
At the moment, you only have your core together on a piece of paper.
At the moment, your core will
Not
play
in
together in the
field.
World Cup.
Your core is like you've written the paper, thrown, it's like that.
Is it going to the bin?
It has gone to the bin. Because I am telling you one major problem. Number 4 was your problem in 2019.
Now
I'm
4
sorry.
and 5.
4, 5, 8
Eight.
are your problems. And I'll come to the number 8 position now. I am sorry. Some conventional wisdoms in cricket don't change.
Don't change.
If you have no confidence in your 7 batters,
I think.
how on earth can you have a confidence in your
Just want
8th
to pick
batter?
Shane's brains here because I just have a feeling. I think Shane fancies Australia and England far more. We too. I think I also back them to do very well in the World Cup. But would you want that to be the case with Team India? Well, is there a desperate need to have somebody who can give you runs at number 8? What's
Yeah, I don't think it's a
honest-
desperate need. It's not a desperate need for sure. It won't harm your chances. But if you're going to play 8 batters, that includes 3 all-rounders, then you have to be batting like you have 8 batters. Right now, the problem is you have a woefully out-of-form top order. Again, Pakistan exacerbated that same problem wherein the top order will fall cheaply. And then the middle order, your explosive batters, by the way, 2 of your most explosive batters yesterday, Hardik Pandya and Ishan Kishan, are having to do a rebuild job.
Yeah.
Why?
A different job altogether.
Happened in
than they're
2019
assigned to
also.
do.
Exactly, it was a common problem in 2019. You were actually spared a lot of blushes because of that Rohit's
Rohit
run
Sharma.
of 5 tons.
Rohit.
Yeah.
Otherwise, you were doomed. If it ever reached a point, we all knew what was the weakness. Man, what if one day the top order doesn't quite click? Who's your number 4? What happened against New Zealand? That same problem came to the fore.
Going forward, do you think again, because yesterday the 11 that were fielded, barring the one change which could be Ishan for
I think that looks like your future.
exactly because given the World Test Championship final as well and what happened yesterday with the team selection and given the slow nature of the pitches that you can expect on a couple of venues here in India as well, I have a strong feeling you're looking at Shardul Thakur as a mainstay in this side. And for one, I don't think I like that. It's not against Shardul, no, it's against the thinking because again, if you're top 7 and you conventionally, traditionally have been a side that has produced the best batters, you're still a nation that loves the batters far more than the bowlers and you trust these superstars who have the willow in their hand far more.
The problem is now you don't trust them.
Why not?
You
Why
don't trust
not?
them.
Again, if you need an 8th batter, how big a difference are you looking at making then? Are you expecting like a 70 odd or a 80 odd from your, for the batter coming into bat at number 8?
See, it's a 2-pronged problem. On one hand, I would say that if you have 8 batters, then bat like you have 8 batters. But they don't even do that.
If let's say if you're saying that okay, a Shardul can give me a 40 or a 50. 3 out of 5 matches, let's say. He can give me a 50.
And even 2 out of 5 matches.
2 out of 5 matches. I will say, why can't those 50 runs be distributed, let's say, amongst the top 6 and be those 10 extra runs, let's say, you can expect the top order or your middle order to give you those 10 extra runs and have specialists instead at number 8.
The problem is you don't trust your specialists right now for a good reason. Siddharth keeps saying we don't trust our batters, but then that's because time and again, what is the problem we've seen? The top order collapses.
But as a result, you are not going in with your best bowling attack. You are leaving aside a certain purple cap winner and somebody who is your all format bowler as well, who can make the ball talk at times. Yes, he is one of those bowlers who needs a bit of confidence too at times, but
and he needs rhythm.
He's not reliant on the conditions so much. That's the beauty about Mohammad Shami.
I'll tell you one thing. Shami is a World Cup to World Cup bowler. I'll tell you. He will just switch on his World Cup mode and he'll come back. That isn't the point here. See, India, what is the strength? What is India's strength?
What is India's strength?
At the moment.
What is India's strength?
That is the answer to the
I'll tell
question.
you what. You know what? I can't say it with conviction for ODI or T20I cricket as much at the moment, but with Test cricket, I can tell you, India's bowling is its strength, and that is courtesy of certain Virat Kohli that you now have produced
pacers.
speedsters and a bowling unit that, regardless of where they're traveling, they give you 20 wickets every Test match. That is India's strength at the moment.
Now that strength is gone, because you now have to make a choice between your best pacers, whoever it is. See, it will have to be Shami / Siraj. Why? Because India number 8, who can bat.
But the problem in tests, not really.
I'm talking about ODIs.
ODIs,
Tests.
yeah.
ODIs.
I think I don't think it's going to be down to the venue or the playing conditions. If the battle is between a Shami and a Siraj, I think it is Siraj getting the nod 9 times out of 10.
You will have to. Now look, this is where, I mean, you all wanted rest and rotation and all these things. Why can't this be applied? And I'll come to my favorite whipping topic yet again. Why can't the same thing be applied in an IPL? You know it is grueling. You know that you only had 7-8 days. Okay. 7-8 days for World Test Championship. Different format, by the way. Here at least you are playing a same format now until November. Okay. You now will play with your core with just 28 days left for the World Cup. Just 28 days. I'm sorry. You missed this chance. Nepal also not getting it. 10th, whatever is your playing 11 that will play against Australia on October 8th in Chennai, that same team will come out on September 10th in Pallekele. In Pallekele, hopefully at this time.
And on 22nd September against Australia also.
That is the situation. 28 days left to go. And Australia, England have all been playing with their core regardless for most of the time, isn't it? Hardly any.
Just that I think this South Africa series is going to be a little different.
But that's also because due to injuries.
Yeah.
Exactly. But that's the only reason for
But
it.
remember, Australia were the first team to announce it. They have announced their preliminary
They
squad.
exactly.
Them in England. No
And-
coincidences.
And they've named a debutant.
Yep. They have a backup. India don't have a backup. Because backup for whom? You're thinking Jadeja, but you're wasting Aksar. Aksar will only come in if Jadeja is unfit. Simple. He can't be Jadeja, Kuldeep, Aksar. I'm sorry.
Jadeja Kuldeep Akshar is a terrible spin lineup.
It is.
Then it makes you again question why you've dropped to UZ.
Why you
What-
don't use each other?
I know his form has been not great, but I remember doing a video on it and I did the comparative of these things. The drop off is marginal.
Yeah.
From marginal drop off, you let him go.
And he was your leading wicket taker in 2019 World Cup here.
Yeah.
And in flatter conditions in England.
Exactly.
Flatter conditions. And here you are going to play in India where October, November, let me tell you, is going to be very different.
True.
Let me tell you, when was the last time you played a major event in October, November? Never. I cannot think of any major event that happened
In
October,
India,
November.
no.
In India. Diwali season, we had bilaterals. But Diwali and...
What was the last time you remember India playing on the day of Diwali?
But Diwali dates have always changed, na? I don't know.
That's what I'm saying. This
November
time around
12th.
you knew that.
Thank you,
Exactly.
BCCI. Thank you. And I'm sorry, there has been total mismanagement. Absolute total mismanagement right from 2021 onwards. 2021 was a total bedlam. You played in the UAE, the IPL, you had the ideal choice to warm up. Hello, what do? You leave out key players and that's it. One game was all enough for that paper castle to come burning down. Okay, 2022, you are on a prayer. You reached the semi-final and what happened? The
Embarrassment.
better team won and absolutely humiliated you. Here, everybody is saying, oh, okay, please. I think if we make it to the semi-final,
Anything can happen.
it will be a great feat. If we make it to the semi-final, see how low our expectations are because of all the instability, all the mismanagement and every single thing that has been brought upon and self-inflicted by only us.
And sadly, you know what? I don't see that going away now because you're in the same chaos. 1 month before the tournament, you don't know what your 11 is going to look like, what your 15 is going to look like.
Now, you know what other decision is making the Indian team management look absolutely foolish and even the selection panel? Experimentation in the West Indies series. Why? Why did you have to add to the
I think
confusion?
that was needed.
Why?
I think it was needed.
Now, looking
You know,
at the
because see,
situation,
had you not experimented then, you wouldn't have, let's say, gone to know, and I'm not saying from a World Cup perspective, how good Yashasvi at the international stage. You didn't know.
No, I
how
don't think he's
good-
talking about T20s. He's talking about the ODIs.
Yeah, coming to it. Or let's say Ishan, how much can he be trusted? Had you not done that, you wouldn't have gotten these answers. Right now, you have an answer. Why is Ishan here where he is at the moment? Because had he not gotten you runs in West Indies, he wouldn't have been playing here. Tilak is an answer also. Remember, he is in the 17-man squad.
But Tilak, if
But
And
again,
just-
see,
he wouldn't have been on the fringes of it. Those are just, let's say, small answers that you got. So perhaps, and that one time I was okay with the experimentation was the West Indies series.
can't. I'll tell you why. When was the West Indies series played?
Last month.
July, August.
Yeah.
How many months to go for the World Cup? 2. I could have understood if you did the experimentation in January, February.
yeah, but January, February, when you had New Zealand, Sri Lanka, and Australia, you were actually playing your full strength teams more or less.
Yeah. I can understand KL's injury through everything, alright. I can understand that, okay? KL's
But I'll tell
injury.
you, and this we know with Indian cricket. So which is why I'm okay, because right now, whatever is happening at the moment is no indicator, and I'm going to be saying this a lot more, I think, here. Whatever is happening is going to have no bearing on next year's T20 World Cup, because the ultimate decisions are going to be made 2 months prior, whatever is happening.
Not even 2 months.
One
After
month.
the IPL ends.
Your IPL and whatever series, bilateral series you will have, then that will be taken into account. How a Jadeja is doing, how Pandya anyway will be the leader of the side. Your calls on Virat Kohli, your calls on a Tilak, all of that, Ishan, KL, all of these answers, nothing right now, whatever is happening is going to be accounted for them.
So, why India are facing this current problem is because KL's injury has thrown the entire team into confusion. KL's injury. It's simple.
And it's got you on standby. You haven't named a provisional squad because you're waiting on his fitness still.
His fitness
Still.
Can't blame KL though because of the situation. He seems to be very unlucky.
But the problems still remain.
Still remain. And number 4, number 5, number 8. Now out of syllabus, another problem is cropped up. You know what is it like? It's like a leaking pipe. You only got 2 hands. I'm trying to stop the leak, but somewhere else the leak springs up. What is that one leak that has sprung out now? Shubman Gill. Big problem.
But Shubman you have to ignore now.
Ignore, exactly.
Because Shubman is that one leak which has come up, which is a small leak. The other ones are big leaks.
You will now have to pretend it's not a leak.
It's not a leak, but then I'll tell you, if Shubman continues, okay, if he continues to have a bad patch, that small leak can burst the pipe. It will happen. So,
Anyway, we've been
and
rambling
remember,
on for a while now.
let's take some
a few
questions.
comments also.
Before I take questions, I'll again say, we are debating on Ishan being number 5 out of 1 innings. Suppose he has 4 bad innings, then what are you going to do?
Then you're in an even bigger
Then
catch
you
22.
actually know that the answer is KL, and you will not turn back to Ishan.
Simple. You have no answers to your problem.
Then suddenly Sanju will be parachuted back in. Sanju, back you come.
If that happens, then that's it. You can kiss even your World Cup semi-final chances goodbye.
Big
Simple.
prediction.
Simple.
Anyhow, comments now.
Prithvi Patnaik, please, Shane.
Baban.
I think team has given up on Shikhar too early because I've analysed Gill's career till now. He has not scored a single 50 when the pitch is spinning and swing friendly. All his runs have come when the pitch is flat. Shocked to see him as first choice opener.
Runs are runs. But I do agree that maybe
Out of
Shikhar
Ahmedabad,
Dhawan.
he does struggle.
But not just that. Shikhar Dhawan got the raw end of the stick a little bit.
What wrong did Shikhar Dhawan do? We still don't know.
Again, strike rate, if that's going to be an issue, then it's ODI cricket
Then,
and
by
you
the
play
way, strike rate
conventionally.
is an issue. It can be if you pick up the magnifying glass and put certain Indian players' stats under it. Then it will be names.
Then
that
it's
you
a
don't
problem
want
for
to read.
everyone. Exactly.
You will want to be names again that you will want to not read.
Exactly.
You don't want to read. It's like we have conveniently become ignorant to certain players because of reputation.
No, even if a Ravi Shastri is saying that, there has to be some credibility to it, right? Even he said the other day that Shikhar should have been around for a little longer than he was sort of.
That's rich of him to say because Shikhar was also sidelined when he was the head coach.
He was there, exactly.
So he's-
That ways.
I think when you are part of the setup, you can't do much, and when you're out of the setup, you can talk a lot of things.
It's very easy.
very easy.
Shivam Singh says this is going to be a repeat of the T20 World Cup. He means 2022. That was DK Rishabh. Now it's musical chairs between Shreyas and Rahul. I have a feeling they'll drop Shreyas. Dear God, if that happens,
And who's your backup then? Surya Kumar Yadav.
Surya Kumar
not
Yadav.
get game time then? Brilliant. Well done.
Go down. I think there's one more comment.
Yeah, I think there is
Shashwat.
one more. Shashwat. One
Go
more,
down.
one more. So, yeah. No, go
Down.
Just scroll down.
Yeah.
Oh no,
That's
there's none
it.
more.
Go back
Let's go to
the
live chat.
Other comments here.
The normal ones.
No, live. Okay. So,
Yeah.
now Vikram Talreja, you are finding answers to questions nobody is asking. Tilak not needed in the squad. Exactly. Whether in Asia Cup or WI Tour, because why need number 4 batsman If all your batsmen play till 4, especially in T20s, you need number 6 in T20.
I think he's going a whole different direction in all
I
fairness.
didn't quite
See,
get that.
I also, it's kind, if you could frame it in a bit more crisper way, Vikram, we would appreciate it. But Tilak was not needed. You're only adding to the confusion in this ODI setup. Suddenly you're going to parachute him. And we are having second thoughts on parachuting Sanju. You're going to parachute Tilak at what position? Number 4.
And hand him a debut.
At number
No
4.
pressure in just before a World Cup.
Wow. Wow. So, Sachin Kashyap, I don't agree with team manager number 8 theory. Shami, Siraj and Bumrah, world 3 best fast bowlers, don't play. I'm sorry your bowling is weak with Shardul and Aksar don't complete 5th bowler. This is the thing.
I am of the firm opinion now that you have to be playing the 3 together.
Yeah. Okay, you mean you want to play Shami, Siraj and Bumrah together?
Yeah.
And you got Jaddu and Kuldeep will start.
Yeah.
And only Hardik is your 6th.
Absolutely.
Then, boss, I think it's a simple problem then. India are copying. They don't want, see, if you want to copy,
No,
they want
this
to
is the way-
try and copy. Na?
This is the way you played your 11 World Cup as well. This is the way you played your 2013 Champions Trophy as well. This is what has gotten you success in the past as well.
Just go back
now
to the-
what you're trying to do is look at what England are doing, Australia are doing, and wanting the kind of players that we don't have at the moment.
Like we don't produce, like all-rounders.
Exactly.
In fact, as Vishal Panchal says, why complicate? Take Sanju, Rahul's fitness is not sure. A number 8 giving you 20 runs, not worth leaving out a proper bowler. Play what you have, do not imitate England.
Thank you, Vishal, for saying that.
But I have also been saying, we are imitating England and Australia. Sorry, you're not trying.
Bumrah gave you 14 odd runs yesterday.
Yeah.
Shardul didn't even give you that.
3. He
those
gave you
many.
3 runs.
Then, is
Which
there
is-
a guarantee that your number 8 will always get you runs?
We don't know what is our strength. Vishal Panchal.
But you can bet on a Shami to give you good bowling.
We don't know our strengths. This Indian cricket team has become so complicated that you cannot predict the strengths of them. As simple as it can be. You cannot predict it. So that's why I am sorry, boss. If you want to make this Indian cricket team the squad of 15 is then the Asia Cup and you want to include everybody of them, good luck. Because only 15 members can be announced. Rest who are left out, whoever is picked, move on, deal with it. Pray that these 15 help you win the World Cup. If not, the post-mortem will anyway be done. Anyway, it will be done because the Indian cricket fan is now very convenient. They are now split on a lot of TNs, fan bases that they are just absolutely blind to what is happening. Absolutely blind.
One more comment, just scroll all the way down, just go down and we'll this thing.
Okay. Indian team, okay, cricket is saying cricket is religion. Indian team core wants too much workload management. Pak team plays for entire with core and no issues for them. They are superhumans. Are you sure about that? Because see, in Pakistan kind of got away because their batting was not tested, let me tell you. And their total of 266 should ideally have been 236, but they conceded 30 runs in the field.
Easy.
So your fielding is a massive problem, let me tell you. And that is why, sorry boss, Pakistan, even if they play with their core, they are a very, very mercurial side. And that's why Karthik K from the US is saying, Iyer Bumrah batted well with less game time, 7, 8.
Well, he said they're not very good.
They are not very good.
To be fair, I think Iyer unfortunately
Found the fielder.
found the fielder because he was looking pretty smooth.
He did connect the ball well.
Yep. But again, yaar, out of just one game, we are all thinking as if, oh my god, we are going to win the World Cup with the number 8. When was the last time a number 8 won you a World Cup? It was your top order that won you the World Cup.
Chris Wokes will disagree with you.
But Wokes, did he play that final knock?
He did.
Knock.
Not knock, but I mean he's a key player in that England team.
But, but the guys who set it up were Ben Stokes and Sam Curran.
True, but
Sam Curran's a 6. He's a proper batter, by the way.
He's a proper
look at
batter.
the kind of impact that he had in the Ashes.
Who?
Wokes.
Wokes, but again, test matches. I'm talking about white ball cricket.
but-
White ball cricket, see, England, they know that their core strength, see, Wokes and Wood. Does Wood consider himself to be a batter? No, he's a bowler.
No, he's a bowler who can tonk a few.
That's it.
The only one in that bowling lineup who considers himself a batter is Adil
Adil Rashid.
But that's because he has county hundreds.
So again, Rashid doesn't come into the team because of his batting. He comes on the account of his bowling.
It's just an
Same with
added
Wood.
advantage.
But here, Shardul Tagore wants to come in because of his batting.
But Shardul is technically a bowling all-rounder.
But again, Aksar and Shardul, I'm sorry, the catch-22 that you're talking about, it's with them. Red ball cricket, Aksar is a better bat than Shardul. Agree. Red ball cricket. Because he was a leading run getter in the border Gavaskar trophy.
Absolutely.
But in white ball cricket, both have a problem. White ball. Come on, we are mixing up formats. And we are doing it in a big time in the number 8 problem. So, for me, number 4, 5 and 8 are major problems that the Indian cricket team is
And I don't think they're getting solved anytime soon. Just wait and watch.
I am very much afraid that will be the case. So, I also don't think it's going to get sorted. By 5th, we will know. Okay.
But we wait until then, we deliberate until then, we
right.
continue to argue until then, and we continue to pray until then as well.
Okay,
Absolutely.
so Vikram has actually
let it be.
But again, T20.
A T20 again, whole different
we are
matter.
not
Let it be.
Vikram. We are not talking about T20s. It's ODIs that we are wanting to focus at this point. So, well, let's see now what is going to be the case. September 5 now. Nothing earth-shattering about it. Okay, sorry to credit KL Rahul lost series, but then
South Africa was more than a year back. Give him
2022, 1.5 years back.
Exactly.
And KL Rahul, if you talk about India, he didn't play in India the T20I series, and the ODIs, he was already in Australia. So that is why he will. Mohammad Shami is your World Cup to World Cup bolter. He'll only play World Cups. He won't play bilateral that much. So that is the situation. September 5, nothing earth shattering will come about in the World Cup preliminary squad announcement India will make. But number 4, number 5, number 8, lack of game time for the bowlers, huge issues. And 28 days to go, you're going to play with your co. And that's very, very, because I remember that there was a 28 film series. 28 days later, 28 weeks later, 28 months later, and it was all a horror show. And I think this Indian team is getting to be that horror show at this point in time. 28 days to go for the World Cup then, if you're playing with your co. So, let's see how it goes on September 5, and we'll be bringing you all the updates from here and in Pallekele on Sports Today. We'll be back with a lot more. The Bangladesh-Afghanistan game has started. Australia-South Africa is headed, I think, towards an Australia whitewash, if I'm not mistaken. So, England-New Zealand is also begun. So, we'll be bringing you all the updates that are there. Tap that bell icon so you know when we go live, and you're also on Facebook, Twitter and Instagram. And from me, Shane and Harshit here, it's goodbye. We'll be back soon.